Well, the days are getting shorter and colder, and you know what that means, right? Time to get ready for winter.
Yeah, our First Alert weather team has brought us stories to get us ready for the season all week long. Tonight, Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has his winter weather forecast ready for us, and just check out the tie that he has on tonight.
I know, right? This is what everybody's been talking about here today. Is that a sign of things to come? Those are snowflakes. By the way, if you're playing along at home, and yes, indeed, I think we are looking at quite a few snowflakes as we go into the winter ahead. You know, we've been doing this for a long time now, a little more than 20 years. I've been putting out an annual winter forecast. You get some that are better than others. I mean, let's face it, we're forecasting 4 months in advance in a lot of cases. What we're dealing with right out of the gate, first thing I do is I look back at the current year that we're in. How is the weather this year, and what does it compare to in years past? Well, the highlights of this year, minus the active spring, minus the flooding that we had to start the year. In the summer, we started it wet. We ended with a record dry August. You guys remember that? We couldn't buy a drop of rain in the month of August, and that was surrounded by some of the wettest weather you're ever going to find. Then we had record cold into late August and early September. September went back and forth. And then all of a sudden, October rolls around, giving us the wettest October ever recorded in Lexington. As I look across the globe now, we're looking at the local angle here with the weather we were just talking about. Now we look across the globe. First thing I always look at, the Pacific Ocean and the state near the equator out in the Pacific. We are into a weak La Nina mode, very similar to last year. But the signs this year for some significant blocking or high pressures that don't want to move very much at all from the Arctic into the northern latitudes is there. It's a strong signal that we're picking up on. Let's go to the Pacific Ocean. Here's the weak La Nina. This is really, in my eyes, as I look at this, I don't see a lot of difference between how it looks right now and how it looked about a year or so ago. They're not entirely the same, but it's a similar look to what we were dealing with about this same time last year. The northern Pacific, we've had that big heat wave, that marine heat wave off the coast of Japan. Well, that is starting to cool down a little bit. We've got slightly cooler than normal waters here in the Gulf of Alaska that are starting to warm again. When I look at a pattern like what we're dealing with in terms of the state, not only of the Pacific, but the Atlantic and that high latitude blocking, I see a pattern that as we go through the winter forecast, I'm talking about December, January, February, and into early March, that is likely to encompass much of the country in a colder than normal setup. We'll push that near normal line all the way to the deep south. So that winter forecast, as we look at this, I'm going with temperatures that are below normal, much colder first half of the winter time than the second half of the winter time. I think spring may spring a little earlier than normal this year. Snowfall should be above normal, but there's the chance again this year, like what happened last year, for a biggie system to impact our region. The years that I've looked back at that are similar to this year are a lot of the same years that I had on this list a year ago. Except one, 2024. I've added that one to this list because last year is one of my top analogs in how I expect this winter to turn out. I just think it's going to be a little faster getting into that harsh period of winter weather. This may be a harsh stretch from the middle of December to the middle of January. So the breakdown for the month of December, temperatures should be much colder than normal in relation to what we are dealing with the rest of the wintertime. We're below normal again in January. We start to come out of this, though, early in February, and that may have a quick jump to springtime in early March. We get a lot of those winters sometimes that just don't want to give way to springtime. I don't think this is going to be one of those as of right now. Total snowfall with every flake, even what we just had a week and a half ago, to the last flake that may fly in late February or March, I expect above normal. Lexington, your normal snowfall for a winter time is right at 15 inches. Last year, we were right at 24 inches, so we were above normal. You know what? I think we're going to do that again. I think we're going to be back into that similar fashion across the central and eastern parts of the Bluegrass State. So December, the breakdown, Arctic blasts are likely, several snow systems will be rolling through. If you like snow in December to get you in that Christmas spirit, I don't think it's going to be an issue this year. For the month of January, another cold month, few big rain and snowmakers will show up. Now we go into February. We start to see the pattern breaking with rain and thunderstorm opportunities, maybe more than the snow opportunities. And then for the month of March, I expect things to thaw out very quickly with that early start to spring. With a earlier than normal start to spring, we may be talking about an earlier than normal severe weather season that gets started as well. Something I've been doing for a long time is throwing something out there called a bold prediction. I've had several of these that have hit, including last year when we talked about having winter storm warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings with the same system. We did that one back in early January. So this year, your bold prediction, cue up Bing. A widespread white Christmas is a dream come true for the Commonwealth of Kentucky. I'm not going to start singing it, guys, but I know right now a lot of folks are thinking it. So we'll see how this works out. But I like the odds of snow on the ground for Christmas across many areas.